Welcome to Love You Bro Podcast. I am your host, Jude Devella, always kicking it up with my brother Jamie.
What it do?
What's up, bro?
What's up, brother?
Everything good? Man, we gotta jump back in. We got so much stuff going on, man. We had a little hiatus for a little bit, man. We had some stuff going on, so just gonna get all caught up. And there's so much to talk about, man. With NBA playoffs, we got Royals. Man, Theo, our man, Jack Caglianone getting moved up. We're going to talk a little Jack Caglianone. We're going to talk some Chiefs, man.
Chiefs OTAs?
Oh, Chiefs OTAs, man. There's so much going on right now.
Stanley Cup kicks off Thursday night.
Stanley Cup kicks off. But let's talk a little bit early today. Jamie and I snuck away. I drug him because he was doing work, and I drug him away for an hour, and I made him for an hour and a half go watch me play 9 holes today.
Yeah.
Wasn't too bad, huh?
No, you played pretty well, man. I was impressed. It's been a long time since I've seen you.
It has just been a long time since you've seen the swing club. It's
man,
getting a little bit better, man. Putting some work in, and that's always fun, man. Because when you do sports and everything, you got to try to find some time to try to get better.
Yeah, I was
stuff.
impressed,
and
man.
That's been kind of my that's been my addiction lately, man. It's golf and trying to get out there and do that. So that's been fun. But I think first and foremost, man, let's jump in. On our set, we always have our man TK on set with us. We have our man Bobby Witt. But now Bobby Witt, he doesn't necessarily have to wear that Superman cape, man. What is Jack Caglianone, in your mind, what does he have to bring to the table? What do you think he has to do? What should he not be doing? Let's get into talk a little bit about that.
So for me, obviously it's really exciting. I think, since last year, him sliding to 6, a lot of people thought he'd go before that.
Right.
When he went to us. And everywhere, we talked about this several, it's been months ago, but from when George Brett, who's someone obviously 99.9% of baseball fans appreciate and respect, was like when he was down in the minors, he goes, I've seen one guy before. He goes, but when Caglianone would come up to the plate, every dugout is at the top of the dugout watching his plate. He goes, and once he was done, they'd go do their stuff, do their whatever, look at their iPad, the ball sounds different. And you hear these clips, you see these clips, and he's hitting it. And traditionally, they say the park he's playing in right now, plays a little bit smaller, wind kind of blows out, but he's absolutely crushing the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, he's crushing the ball. So I think that, my main thing is I was surprised a little bit that it's this early, but a lot of things I've heard is there's not much more he's going to learn where he's at in AAA, and they're not pitching to him in AAA. So it's how are you going to develop if they're not throwing to you in AAA? So you may as well bring him up here. Maybe he sparks your lineup a little bit. Maybe obviously he's going to extend your lineup a little bit, but the lineup has been anemic, and it's been really, really, really bad. I mean, you go through playing Detroit.
Bro, it's been horrible. I don't mean to cut you off, but I'm thinking about something. So obviously, our boy who's now part of our Love You Bro podcast family, Stephen St. John. Hats off to what he does over there at SSJ, the morning show. He was talking with who's the guy that's with him in the morning? His producer guy that's with him. Jake. So Jake.
Goody.
Yeah. So Jake's with him. So they were talking this morning about the production and the first games from the right field position, and no matter who was over there in right field, right? It was 202 at bats. Theo, what do you think the batting average has been for the right fielders over there?
Remember your offense, I say sub 200.
183. 183 with 1 home run. I mean, that is god awful. Their on base percentage was like 280 something or 302 or something. I mean, terrible. I mean, I couldn't believe the numbers they talked about when I hear people go, don't bring them up too early because wow, it might damage him, might hurt him. You're not going to damage a guy like Jack Caglianone. And to me, I go back and I look, when you draft a high school kid or you draft a college kid, you got a college kid that's been proven in what he's done in the SEC. You face a gauntlet over there pitching.
Yeah, the SEC is legit. Baseball, every sport, but it's
the stuff he's faced over there. He's not, and he's going to face some adversity. We're not idiots. We're not saying this guy's going to come in here and bat 350 and have 30 homers the rest of the year. And I don't think anybody expects that. We had a clip, Jamie and I were passing back and forth earlier today. The clip, and it's been all over social media, on the Royal social media and stuff. The AAA manager calling him in, talking to him about him going up and everything. And he told him at the end of the day, it's just baseball. Everything moves a little faster up there, but at the end of the day, it's just baseball. I was in Omaha last summer, and Colin Jamie and stuff. We had first started our podcast, and I saw Caglianone in batting practice. And my first thought, and it was to watch him with an aluminum bat, is how in the world has this guy not killed somebody in the infield in the SEC? The way the ball was coming off that aluminum bat. The balls he was hitting out at the Omaha Chasers, where they play at. Dude, these balls, they were 450, 460. I mean, it was unreal. But he's using an aluminum bat. So you want to see what he does with the wood, and I think he's proven in the 50 games AA, AAA.
Oh, yeah.
He's what was it, 324, 15 home run. Will you check that?
So he hit 322,
Okay.
15 homers, 56 ribbies, and an OPS of 982.
Okay.
Which is
We've seen
it's
enough.
awesome.
I mean,
It's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm not the part that worries me is I hope that he seems like a kid that it's not going to be too big. He understands he's going to go through some growing pains. Everyone does. I mean, but he doesn't feel, because you see Bobby Witt right now, and Bobby Witt is like, he is trying to like hit 5-run home runs, because he knows he's the only thing.
It's a lot of pressure.
And he only gets one pitch.
Yeah.
I was watching something, I don't know if it was MLB Network, but they were talking like when you have your like pitching meeting, but your day of it.
Hey, Dylan, will you check and make sure? I don't know if he's up. I'm just seeing pops on Papa's screen. Just take a look at it. Keep going. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That when you have your managers or your pitchers meeting, that like, hey, the only guy they have to worry about is Witt.
Right.
I mean, it's like if you get him, just don't let him beat you, you're fine.
Yeah.
And so he gets one pitch every game, maybe two that are better. He's trying to do too much. So I think but it's going to be so exciting. What's crazy is that, so tomorrow I'll make his debut in St. Louis.
Right.
And then his home debut a week from tomorrow against the Yankees at the K, which will be so fun. I bet it's a sold out crowd. It'll be incredible. Hopefully we can find a way to, maybe this does something to your offense, generate something in his offense, but the buzz and in the MLB, it's not just a Kansas City thing. I saw today on MLB Network, they were comparing him to Paul O'Neill and saying his stroke is a lot like Paul O'Neill's.
Right.
But he's got more power and he's bigger and he's like,
that was my thing when you were saying, because I was a huge Paul O'Neill fan. I loved Paul O'Neill when he was with the Yankees, but I think Jack's got more pop than Paul O'Neill.
Yeah. They were just saying stroke wise, but I mean,
Right.
he's got a lot more power, but his swing, and it does look very, very similar. So yes, I think, it'll be, it's just so brutal, man. And watching that offense, you go through and Waka goes no hitter into the 7th against Skubal, who is definitely the best pitcher in the American League, arguably the best pitcher in baseball, and it's zeros. And it's just, Waka is out there throwing his ass off. And we won. We won that game.
Right.
But
And Bubic did the same thing yesterday.
Yes.
1 run through 7 innings.
And Booba pitched once again. He was so good yesterday. It's just, Noah Cameron, the local kid, he's been really, really good. Raggins is still in the, he pitched a minor league game, or he pitched a rehab assignment a couple days ago. Gave up 3 runs, I think. But he's coming back.
Bubic lowered his ERA yesterday, 1.43. This guy's got a 1.43 ERA, and he's got a 5-3 record. That sucks.
Yeah,
that
total.
sucks, man. You got a 1.43 ERA and you're 5-3.
And he'll be
man.
have they announced yet the American League Pitcher of the Month of May? Yeah, it's between him and Skubal. Yeah, Skubal was fantastic as well. Maybe not as good as, but yeah. So it's crazy, but it'll be interesting to see how it goes out. How it plays out. And, as far as the young guys they've brought up, they all have done nice things, but they're not middle of the order guys. They're effort guys. I like Waters.
Yeah.
I like Nick Lofton. He's versatile and does, he can play infield, he can play outfield.
Right.
But you need those cogs. And obviously, Salvi's been a shell of his former self.
For sure.
A shell of his former self.
He's getting older, bro. He's getting older, bro. I think now we start looking at a way to kind of, move on from Salvi after this year's over and figure out.
Well, they have two of the three best catching prospects in on one side. They got Carter Jensen and then Blake Mitchell.
Right.
Blake Mitchell got early on. But those are guys that both hit for power. The Blake Mitchell kid, yes, calls a good game and steals base. You don't see many catchers steal base. They said he's capable of a 20 He's stealing 20 bases, but yeah.
Yeah,
So
what's the record right now in the AL Central? What's those standings?
AL Central is looking like Tigers in first place at 39-21, best record in baseball.
baseball.
Guardians 32-26, 6 games back. Twins 31-27, 7 games back. Royals 31-29, 8 games back.
Yeah. They're not catching that 8 games back.
The Royals are in fourth at 8 games back.
Yeah.
So the Twins and Guardians are ahead of them right now.
Twins are the hottest team.
Yeah.
Twins are.
They were before the Seattle series. We got walked off twice, but 4 games in a row. We had a deficit going into the ninth, tying it up in the ninth.
Yeah.
Minnesota ain't fucking with Detroit. Detroit's legit. Detroit is legit, dude. They got some bangers over there.
And they got some bangers, and they have an incredible farm system with kids coming up that
yes,
are like
and their
in the pipeline.
bullpen's nasty.
They got AJ Hinch.
Yeah.
Who is, I know everything that went on in Houston.
With the trash can banger, but I don't care. He built that program.
AJ Hinch is a great coach.
Yes.
AJ Hinch is he's a solid coach for sure.
Javi Baez has resurrected his career.
Yeah. He may do the same thing for Gleyber Torres over there, man.
Yeah. But to speak to that though, regardless, to me, every single night, you made a comment earlier today. You're like, I cannot wait to sit down and watch that game tomorrow night.
Oh my god, I can't wait.
But
can't wait.
even it pisses me off. And I'm on text thread with some friends, and Saturday I was like, this is going to piss me off if they ruin this game by Bubic, because it's like, you weren't going to get anything against school, but he kept him in it.
Dude,
but I was pissed.
Every night, when I called you yesterday, I was pissed. I was fucking pissed. Sick of seeing this 1-0 bullshit and not scoring any runs. I don't get it, man.
Yeah.
I really don't. Keep going. I'm sorry, go ahead.
So I think but it's entertaining baseball. It's fun baseball for us. It'll be awesome. I can't wait. The city can't wait. If you watch baseball, I don't care if you are a fan of the Milwaukee Brewers, if you're a fan of
Or the Twins.
but obviously he's more familiar and knows.
Yes,
but I'm saying within the division who you are. But Caglianone is someone a lot of people in baseball know about. A lot of people in baseball know his power. And tomorrow night, you better believe there'll be people taking in his batting practice.
Yeah, let me ask you a question. So as like being a Twins fan, you're from Minnesota. Being a Twins fan, would you flip on a TV to watch like Caglianone first, like to see what he does, or you'll kind of wait till the series with the Twins, like?
I won't watch the actual game,
Right.
but I definitely will be checking.
Yeah.
Because I'm a baseball guy.
Yeah, of course,
I'll
right.
Check first series, see what he did the whole series wise.
Right.
Go game to game.
Right.
And you said the Yankees are in town.
Next week.
Yeah, that's his home opener.
Home opener.
Tuesday.
And if I can get some cheap tickets,
There you go. Yeah. Yeah.
my roommate's a Royals fan, so
But being a baseball fan, that's what I'm saying. Being a baseball guy.
going to see Judge and Belly and Goldie, and then going to see Cags.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bobby
See,
Witt.
I was thinking last night when I saw, as everybody did when they saw the ticker come across and be like, boom, breaking, Royals going to bring up Caglianone. I had to get up and do some early transportation for primetime transportation this morning. So I had like a 5 a.m. trip. So 4 a.m. I get up and I'm like, man, and I kept hearing like through the night, like on like the radio stuff I listen to, I kept hearing them say, well, they're on the road in St. Louis, they're going to Chicago, then they're going to come back and play the Yankees on Tuesday. So Caglianone's first home game is going to be against New York on Tuesday night. So I immediately jumped on my TickPick app and was like looking through, found a couple really nice tickets, about 15 rows behind the first base dugout. I got them each for under $100. I was happy with those. I was like, yeah. But the price have gone up throughout the day.
And if he has a hot start,
Yeah.
and he's, I mean, they'll even get more expensive. But that'll be fun. I mean,
yeah.
Just to be the Yankees, it's going to be.
Yeah, I was thinking Judge and just all the guys that the Yankees bring, and we faced them in the playoffs last year. I thought I want to see our pitching staff against New York, and then man, Cag's first game. I'm like, okay. So what do you guys think that lineup's going to look like? I saw something earlier today.
they'll bat him sixth. I bet he'll bat sixth.
So what do you think? They were showing Michael first. They were showing Witt second. Who goes in that third row?
Vinny.
Vinny in the 3-roll. Who's in the 4-hole?
You're not moving them.
No.
You're not moving Salvi.
Yeah.
So Salvi's in your 4. Then who goes
Then
in?
McHale.
No, he's McHale 1.
Oh yeah.
No, I saw Mikel 1, Witt 2, Vinny 3, Salvi 4. I think they had Cags 5 was the one that I saw.
He didn't move down. I know he was your leadoff guy
Yeah.
for a while.
Who, India? Yeah, he has been not the last few. I think they're trying to put Mikel up there. And that
Yeah.
and that leadoff. You put
with
Mikel
and he's one. And what's crazy is it's such a weird thing because they have they out hit Detroit both games,
Right.
But they're not getting anything across.
Right.
They're not getting those hit that matters. But like Mikel's a guy he's had a phenomenal year.
Yeah.
And with Bergman, with Bregman out, he probably will represent the American League at third base.
Yeah. The game they lost 1-0 to Detroit on Sunday. What was it? We had like 8 or 9 hits, and Detroit had 3 or 4.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like, what? I mean, come on, man.
But like I said, and it'll be great to see. They have. I will say this about the organization, and to me, moving forward, and especially for this season, they know they want to win. They're in now,
Right.
And they are willing. What they haven't done in the past: eat Stratton's salary,
Right.
get him out. Was not productive. 8 Renfro's salary, and these are big salaries for the Kansas City Royals.
Did Stratton go to the Dodgers? Is that where he's at? Is
God,
Stratton with the Dodgers?
the Dodgers wouldn't pick him on their little league
Who
team.
was the Stratton guy throwing for the Dodgers last night? They got that Yankees.
No.
last
Stratton, he's playing with his kids somewhere. Like he's not playing. No,
Anyway,
Stratton.
keep going.
And then Renfro, they DFA'd him at $7 million this year on his deal. So they'll get creative, and they're going. Chris Stratton pitched for the Dodgers last night.
I listened. I was listening to the game of the week.
An hour ago, they designated him for assignment as well.
Yeah, he was terrible yesterday. Yeah, the Yankees let him up.
But
yesterday.
what's funny though, Theo, is, and I fucking hate the Dodgers. I love the Lakers, hate the Dodgers. The Dodgers, they're so good, have so much depth. They think they can turn anyone around. They took the Diaz kid or is it Diaz from Cincinnati?
He's got Alexis Diaz,
Yeah.
Edwin's younger brother.
Yes,
He's filthy.
but he was
Around, I wouldn't be shocked.
no exactly. But they have that
Like Trinan.
yeah.
Trinan is out of the league.
Right.
No, and they just have so much. Yeah, but Stratton, I'm like, Jesus, he must have owed someone a favor or something.
But I'm
because,
telling you, I was listening to radio last night. They were like, Stratton, you stood for the Royals, and I'm like, and this dude stood for the Dodgers, and he came in to get a couple outs in the 8th, and then he came to the top of the 9th, and it was like walk, double, triple, hit, and then they pulled him, and that's funny. You said they designated him for assignment. Yeah, because he didn't.
1 hour ago.
Yeah, because he didn't do well last
So
night.
okay, so with that being said, I think they will package something up, and the more you get from Michael Lorenzen and the more you get from Noah Cameron, they have pieces.
Oh God, dude! You don't tell me they're going to try to train Noah Cameron. No, I'll be pissed. That'll piss me off. No, I think you keep
No,
Cameron.
I'm
I
just
think you
saying.
keep Bubich.
Lugo's probably the guy that's going to go.
That's what that's. what I
Lugo's
would
the
try
probably
to
going
get
to
rid
guy
of.
that's going to go.
If we
and
can get some type of corner out,
you will
for
get. You
Lugo,
could 1,000,000% get the guy was up for the Cy Young last year. He's
What do
not
you-
been as great, but also
What do you guys think about the Ryan O'Hearn thing they keep telling? No.
I don't. Yeah,
You guys, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
I don't-
drafted
I
him.
still think Baltimore will end up turning it around. They need to get some pitching. Baltimore's been tough to watch.
and that's where you kind of line up a Cedric Mullins, Lugo, and throw in another prospect for
His Mullins in the last year.
Yes. But I read something today. The Phillies are in. So, but you shouldn't get outbid because you have stuff in your system.
Yes.
You have pitching right now.
Yes, but that's what I was going to ask you about. So even adding Cags, to me, if you want to make a difference, you're going to have to trade a pitcher and go get another corner outfield.
Yeah.
To me, that could really kind of bang it out. Even if he gives you so what would you guys think like for Cag the rest of the year for what he's put up so far? What would make us happy as Royals fans? What type of number would we be looking at for Cags to produce?
I'm happy
the
with
last 100 games.
250 with the rest is 15 home runs to 17 home runs.
I'm not even a Royals fan, but I think you guys would be happy with 260 to 20 homers.
Yeah.
My number, but
Yeah.
it's better than less, so.
Yeah, I mean, I would. I mean, considering
I
once again,
I don't think you
this
guys are
time
doing-
last year he is playing to get to Omaha. This
Right.
time last year, he is the first non-pitcher because we had Finnegan,
Yeah.
which was also crazy. Theo, I don't know if you remember that, but in 15, was it 15 or 14? He pitched in the College World Series. In October, he suited up and played in the playoffs for us, and he pitched in the College World Series.
Pitched in the College World Series and the World Series. One of only like 2 or 3 people that have ever done that.
But Caglianone is the first guy to do it as a positional player.
right.
That he's in the same calendar year that he's going to play. I mean, not same calendar year, but same season that
Because
he played.
we didn't bring him up in September last year, did he? He didn't come up.
Who?
Caglianone.
No.
He didn't come up at all last year.
No, but he played. But the quickest.
That-
So that to me, that to me would be what I would expect. I'm not expecting him to do too much. I know they said somebody made a bet on FanDuels about him winning Rookie of the Year honors and what they signed. It was like a $5 or $10 something bet, but he was how.
10-1 before the season, and I also have $10 on it.
You do? Yeah. Holy shit, Theo! You should be the big. How
Vegas,
much?
$10 to win a grand.
Okay. Yeah.
Vegas, but they said when they were bringing them up last night, they said today that Vegas moved the odds. The kid from Oakland.
He's legit.
Yeah,
That you like him, Theo? The shortstop.
Jacob Wilson's the best pure hitter since Luis Arias.
But they say he's just hitting singles though. He's not hitting.
It's Arias. His on base, he'll be on. Yeah.
Where he plays college ball at?
No idea.
No idea.
No idea.
Theo,
But you know what?
take a look, please.
Those guys are. I mean, I like that Oakland team. They're going to be in a couple years. They got talent everywhere. Their first baseman, Solerstrom,
Man, I just
Butler.
I just think
Yeah.
with the
Play baseball like Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
Grand Canyon. Okay. I just think with the Royals pitching, man, if you go trade a Lugo and you go get a corner outfielder, you go get a Cedric Mullins and you add him into that lineup with Witt and Caglianone and Vinny. Now you start talking about making a little noise and being able to compete a little bit from that standpoint.
Right now, who they say is the team that to talk to is the Boston Red Sox because they got a plethora of outfielders. And right now, as good as Abreu is, he's probably the one they would trade because he doesn't play as good defensively.
I heard Abreu's name come
and
up.
the
Yeah.
other guys hit like that. Then the kids that are behind him in the system.
Right.
So there's all sorts of options. There's a kid there. I mean, there's kids in Colorado. There's a kid that Goodman kid catcher. He plays catcher in outfield. He's an option.
Man.
There's Stowers in Miami. I mean, they're willing to trade. Yeah, they're willing to trade anyone in Miami. I mean, they're
The flipping Rockies are 9-50 right now. I heard that this morning.
yeah. I mean, they're
But how, you guys explain this to me. Somebody else had kind of posted on which one of our good friends who's been on our show, the Wolf of Waldo, Tom Buchanan. Tom posted
chicken
on there.
dick.
Yeah. Tom posted on there, the Rockies are 9-50 and have a better attendance record than the Royals. That sucks. That sucks.
Royals and the Rockies and Scotty Scheffler have the same amount of wins since May 2nd.
That's insane. That's a good call.
3.
May 2nd, the Rockies.
Well, okay, so back that up real quick, and we'll touch this. We'll touch on this when we come back here. We're gonna have to go to break soon, but look no more why to have a downtown ballpark because it's so incredibly convenient. And if you had a ballpark down here, there's so much stuff going on. People go by default. You just go by the game. In the Rockies, they were sold out, and they were good back in the day with Bichette and Larry Walker and Galarraga and that whole. They could never.
Andres Galarraga. Remember that?
That was a badass. I mean, they just mashed home runs. But you were just. I mean, so
the Rockies though, dude, 9-50. How is their attendance record more than the Royals?
well,
That's crazy.
In the heart of downtown.
exactly.
And it's cheap.
Yeah,
Paying $8 to go drink a beer
yeah.
and forget about stuff.
And that's 100%. And now,
That's crazy. That's
so what's crazy is last year I had something come across my phone. It was like a ticket flash for the Royals, and it was like $5 tickets. And I was like, oh shit, okay, I'm gonna take the girls. So I bought tickets. You get out there and parking's still $20, and I was like, by the end of it, I was like, dude. They got me.
Yeah.
They got me because I was like, okay, cool. This is going to be a $30 night. Cause I was like, girls, we're not going there. It's not we're going to spend $100 on, blue lemonades,
candy.
cotton candy, Dippin' Dots. We're just going to pull
Oh
up.
man, that's what we do.
No, I know, but it was like,
do.
but they got me on that. And I was like, it's still relatively expensive to try to go out there. I'm like, okay, his parking was still 20. You're still paying fee. Yeah. But that is crazy that the Rockies have more, but downtown baseball, it's where it's at. The Royals need to play nowhere else other than down here. I don't care if it's in the Columbus Park area or the situations they have here. I will not.
So what do we think about that? Some of the Royals ownership group buying that land out there on 119th and all.
They have the resources to do it.
So there's something though. There's something that doesn't set right. Not that it doesn't set right with me, but there's something that I'm like. There's something in my gut telling me they didn't just do that for shits and giggles, man. They didn't just go buy some land on 119th and all and buy this loan.
But it's one of those. It's one of those things though. If you're playing ball, okay, and they're playing they're playing, if you're at the table, they can buy all of the chips because they have the resources to buy all the chips just to not show their hand and what they're doing
Right.
to make the people over here 816, like, okay, so this is a thing. Knowing, hey, they can flip it. They can turn around and flip it. Like, it's not going to depreciate in value. They'll still make money on it.
Of course.
But I mean, it's like, it's a great,
100%.
but if not, and if 816 wants to continue to screw it up and continue to,
What did Rogers just say, dude? That'd be bullshit.
I mean, just 816, man. It's just, I just cannot believe, and I get when a lot of neighbors were like, hey, but you look and see a lot of bullshit down here and a lot of space that you could get creative and make an insane ballpark. And how cool are like the backdrop would be of the outfield and where it is. It would be one of the coolest, dopest stadiums in all of baseball. I mean, it already
cool.
is. You ask a lot of people in baseball with like when they come here, Coffin's always one of the favorites. The fountains are there. There's nobody in baseball that does it. Now we don't have like Pittsburgh, PNC. I want to go. Have you been, Theo? I want to check that out. I've heard. I mean, it looks incredible, but how terrible are they? Skeens is going somewhere. They're gonna fuck him up. I mean,
Skeens, man.
yeah. But they're so bad. I don't think. I mean, and it's like, but time those guys. I mean, I don't know. I think those and you listen to like, I like to get in the chat rooms of other like fans and just kind of sit there like Homer Simpson, and they just bash the fuck out of the organization. And that was us years ago, because it'd be like when we were rolling out Jose Rosados and like that was our lone all-star, and it was like, I mean, God, they were.
That was horrible when they used to have to find some of the Royals to put one all-star player in there, man. We used to have to find one dude.
How about Cags in the home run derby? What's the possibility?
Zero this year, man. Zero. I don't want him in the home run derby, man.
Probably just to get for viewership.
Yeah.
But this year's zero.
I think you.
What if he gets 15 in his first 10 games?
No.
Yeah, maybe that.
I don't know.
No, it's not going to happen.
All I know is Jack Caglianone. Jack Caglianone, we are excited that you're going to be here and be a Royal.
Open
man.
invite. Come on. Pull up, Cags.
We can't wait to get your bobblehead up here. But Jack, man, seriously, you need to come and get on Love You Bro podcast, man. We want you on here. We know you were on with Hosmer and Mustakis, and those guys have all the stuff. Moose and Hosmer, man, we want you guys on our podcast, man. If anybody's listening out there and can get a hold of, D-Bonds, man. If you can get a hold of Hosmer and Mustakis, we want those guys on our show. We want to get Jack Caglianone. Right now, we are going to go to a break. We'll come back second half, talk about some Chiefs, OTAs, a lot more stuff to talk about, man. We still got some more Royal stuff to talk about.
Yeah, for sure.
And we'll
NBA playoffs,
NBA
Stanley
playoffs,
Cup. Can't
College
wait.
World Series, Women's College World Series. So we'll be back in a minute. We're out. Guys, we'd like to thank our resident sponsor, Proactive Solutions. They've been with us from day one. They allow us, Love You Bro podcast, to get to do what we do each and every week, and that's bring you a new episode with new guests. So a big shout out to Dean and Natalie Thede at Proactive Solutions. Proactive Solutions has been delivering infrastructure solutions and IT design and consultation services to clients ranging from startups to Fortune 100 companies for more than 27 years. They are proud to be a Kansas City locally owned and a top woman-owned business, offering custom solutions and personalized support. So thank you to Proactive Solutions, Dean and Natalie. If you guys are interested and your company needs some IT solutions, reach out to Proactive Solutions at www.proactivesolutions.com. We have two great resident sponsors that really help us here at Love You Bro Podcast and allow us to do what we get to do week in and week out. Lula's Southern Cookhouse, Bradley and Brittany Gilmore, owners of Lula's. It's at 1617 Main Street. If you have not been down here, please come down on a Sunday and have brunch. Great wait staff, great bartenders. The ownership team with Bradley and Brittany Gilmore are just fantastic people, and they allow us to do what we get to do in this amazing event space at Lula's Southern Cookhouse. All right, my man. We're going to jump right back into it, bro. Jump right back into what we were talking about earlier. I think we're going to finish up with just a little bit more Royal stuff. You know, during break, we got a chance to see one of our cousins send the picture. So it looks like Cags came to Kansas City and then on the charter to St. Louis with the boys, taking a pic with Bobby Witt Jr. I love that, man. Hopefully Witt, maybe it relieves some of the pressure off him, feeling like he's got to be Superman and wear that cape. And and maybe Cags kind of feeds off of that, and Vinny and some of those guys. So it'll be exciting to see what they do. I know tomorrow I'll be excited. I mean, as long as this whole city will be tomorrow.
Yeah.
To be excited.
Well, I mean,
to see
it's just
Cags in the lineup to see kind of what happens.
It's just, I mean, the Royals are, in a wild card spot, and it's just be interested and see if they finish strong and remain in that hunt, or they fade away and they just, they ruin that pitching. So we'll see what happens, but it'll be fun. We can switch up a little bit and talk OTAs.
Yeah, we got Cags and Royals. We got 'em at St. Louis for 2, right? Tuesday, Wednesday, and then we've got, and then from there they're off probably Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I think at Chicago, off Monday, then come back. Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah, it's always that wonky part of their schedule. Like it's like
So they're off Monday, then Tuesday, Wednesday at St. Louis, off Thursday. Chicago, is that right? White Sox Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Theo.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday at Chicago. You guys do play Thursday in St. Louis.
Okay, so it's a 3-game series in St. Louis. Okay, so Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday in St. Louis, then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Chicago. Off Monday, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Yankees. Okay, all right. I think Tampa Bay comes in after that. But okay, I was just curious. It'll be fun, exciting to see Cags in the lineup against St. Louis.
Yep.
Hopefully he gets some stuff going against St. Louis. Sees does some stuff against Chicago and ready. Maybe they go win 3-4 games on this road trip and come back ready to make some noise.
Yeah, hopefully you do. Like the White Sox are no longer a pushover.
No,
they got a lot of young kids. They got a lot
they're
of
not
young,
they're not the Rockies.
No, they're not the Rockies or even the White Sox from last year. But it'll be tough. He's got to go play baseball. Once again, it's fun. I'll be excited to watch. I'll have it on.
Some other fun sports. I mean, I flipped on. Obviously playing men's fast pitch softball and doing that. You were around our team back in the day. The Women's College World Series. Have you guys taken a look or seen any of the games in that at all? The Women's
Not
College
yet.
World Series.
No, I've not.
Man, dude, there's some ballers there, man. Oklahoma's got some ballers. I saw a girl on a replay, bro. Shortstop, diving the gap from her knees, throw someone at first. And those are short bases. Like there's some athletes.
It's super
that
entertaining. Like women's college. Yeah, I mean
there's some really big games. I know today was some elimination games. I think the deal was Texas was waiting. They're gonna have to play, but someone was gonna have to double dip Texas today. Oklahoma got beat by Texas, so now they had to come back and double dip somebody earlier in the day today. Will you check them to see if Oklahoma? What people are hoping to see is Oklahoma and Texas. No matter if a team has a one loss or not, it's just like the College World Series. The women's play the same way. After you have the one loss or whatever, if you come out of that bracket, then it's the best 2 or 3 series. And I think everybody right now in the country that's watching women's the World Series in Oklahoma City is wanting to see Oklahoma, Texas. Texas beat Oklahoma the other day. A girl pitched, lost her grandmother that morning, came out through the afternoon and beat Oklahoma, it was a huge game. So anyway, that's good. College World Series, regionals and stuff's going on. But what happened with that?
So Texas won 2-0. They're in the championship.
Okay.
Oklahoma is playing Tech right now.
Texas Tech?
Yep. Texas Tech is up 2-0.
Texas Tech is?
Yep.
So that pitcher for Texas Tech that they brought in, Texas Tech gave her $1 million NIL deal.
Holy shit.
She took Stanford to the last 2 College World Series. She came up for an NIL deal, and Tech gave her $1 million.
Mahomes gave her $1 million.
No, bro, that's what they were talking about. They were saying, is that Adidas money? Is that like where'd that come from?
Kennedy.
Like,
Is that her name? Kennedy?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, she's pitching right now.
She's filthy, bro.
She's dicing them up.
She's filthy. So she's starting at OU right now?
Yep.
Yeah, OU's got to beat Tech twice. So maybe Tech in Texas in the College World Series, Women's College World Series final. The regionals, we'll be getting ready for the Super Regionals. Vanderbilt and baseball, the #1 overall seed in the tournament.
Right, they're out.
They got knocked out by Wright State. Then Wright State got knocked out by Louisville. So Louisville will come out of that bracket and go to the Super Regional. KU lost, K-State lost in the baseball regionals. They had good seasons. But listen, let's jump into some of the Chiefs OTA stuff. A lot of stuff coming out of Arrowhead. A lot of stuff coming out
OTAs, and we haven't been on since the schedule, the whole release and all the games and how the amazing, like that schedule that they go on.
Yeah.
They're on that Thanksgiving. I called that. I was like, they're going to be, because I'd heard rumblings, that Thanksgiving game, that awesome slot, that
At
325
Dallas.
with the Cowboys, Jerry World. That'll be so much fun.
3:35 game. That's one of those deals, man, where you can wake up early, and then get all the good fixes and all the stuff. Eat by about 2, and bam, about 3:15. Sit down with a
But
little.
it'll be one I'll never forget. I mean, just with family.
Man.
That's an awesome
absolutely.
situation to be with your whole family. And
We might have to figure out. I'm trying to figure out like our situation, like where we usually have like our Thanksgiving and stuff. We might have to figure out something like where in the garage we set some TVs up out there so we can smoke some cigars and.
That'll be fun,
you know.
but a brutal schedule.
Brutal schedule, man. Brutal schedule. You got to go to Brazil on that first Friday night and play that game. And
What
then,
time's that game usually take place? Is it normal time our time, like
I wanted
7
to-
8?
I
or
wanted
is
to
it
say-
7 p.m. our time.
Yeah, I
Okay.
wanted to say Friday. It's Friday night for us. It's Friday. I don't know what the time difference is between here and Brazil, but I kept thinking it was like a 7:30
Yeah.
game.
So it is
Friday
like a
night,
7
7
o'clock.
p.m.
Okay.
Friday night game.
So it'll be like Friday Night Lights, like high school show.
And then they'll come back on that. They'll come back September 14th. They'll come back on September 14th and open up with the Eagles on a 325 game.
Oof.
I mean, the Chargers in that first game, the Chargers were smart, but they were smart by taking that game and taking it out of LA because, I mean, as everybody always knows, the Chiefs, it'll be 60% Chiefs fans in LA. So those guys will, the Chargers weren't really giving up a home game by going to Brazil,
No.
smart on their part. So we come home. Theo, can you pull up our schedule kind of good? So we got week 2, we got Eagles at home, then we go at the Giants on a Sunday night, correct?
Yep.
That'll be who'll be quarterback in the Giants this year? Russ Wilson? Will be Russ?
Yeah, I mean, I think more than likely. I mean, it's his to lose, I think, right?
Probably.
Yeah.
So you have the Giants on that Sunday night. Then we come home, bro. Our first 2 home games.
Winston could be spinning it.
They also took Jackson Dars in
Yeah.
the first
Oh,
round.
that's right. That's right.
So, I mean, they got 3 guys it could be.
Yeah.
You
But
better
our-
hope it's not famous Jameis.
He's fun to watch. I love him, man.
But our first home game is gonna be Eagles. That's gonna be just a tough dogfight rematch of the Super Bowl. But then our second home game, another 325 game against the Ravens, man. I mean, whew. Dude, you coming out and shoot.
Ravens defense is going to be elite.
If you don't go beat that Chargers in that first game in Brazil, and then you got to come home and face the Eagles and Ravens, you may lose your first 2 home games. We could be 1-3 out of the shoot.
It's gonna
Looks good for my bet the other week.
Yeah. What was that bet?
We all took the record.
Oh yeah.
That's
the
right.
record.
We did take the record.
Yeah.
And you took the Broncos to win the division.
Yeah, I'm sticking by it.
Damn right.
You got to stick
Sticking
by
by
it.
it.
It's on. It's on
No,
film.
yeah, no, but
we
I'm just.
got,
I
we-
mean,
we got
the more-
records, man. We got records.
That defense is going to be. It'll be the best defense in the NFL. Like hands down, there will be absolutely.
Baltimore's defense will be the best defense in the NFL.
Denver's defense will be.
Denver's
the best.
defense?
Yeah. They will be. They're going to be very, very.
I don't know.
nasty.
Let's talk about the Chiefs' offense for a minute. Let's talk about the Chiefs' offense because I think this year with what they've got, people are talking about. They're talking about the Jalen Royals kid from Utah State. Some of the stuff that's been coming out of the camp is like, man, this kid catches everything, has a huge catch radius, and he's going to be in that inside slot. You put Rasheed in the slot, you put Jalen Royals. They say Jalen's a lot like Rasheed, and then you got Marquis and Xavier Worthy on the outside. You got Juju Smith-Schuster, who's always going to be a steady.
He won't
Eddie.
make the squad.
Yes, he will, man. Juju makes the squad. Juju's going to be that steady guy where you need if somebody gets hurt or he comes in as that 5th receiver. He's not going to be a guy that's going to start that's going to move the needle for us. You're going to have Royals, have to have Rasheed, have to have Marquis and Xavier. And then to me, they're talking big about the kid out of Clemson, the tight end.
Yep.
The tight end that we
Jake
got.
Brennanstool.
Yeah, man. Him with TK and with
Noah Gray.
Noah Gray. I mean,
You got the kid from coming back last year from Wiley.
yeah, the Wiley kid that we got that came out. He was at Texas and then at TCU and I came here. So Jared Wiley be coming off his injury. I think that offense opens it up, man. I really do.
I mean, that's the test, man. That will be the test. That will be to see. I mean, for me, whether these guys win another consecutive, another AFC West and they go far to the playoffs. Because, I said it a million times. Last year it was really stagnant. It looked old. It looked tired. It looked slow. It looked.
But this is the part that kills me, though. You talk about old, and you talk about stagnant, you talk about this, that, and the other. But they were still 15-2. Like they were 15-2. They lost that Broncos game when they sat everybody. So realistically,
Yeah.
you're 15-1 with a stagnant
but
offense that people are saying
right.
wasn't
No,
really.
no.
It wasn't a Chiefs offense. It didn't look very good.
It was 15th in the. I mean, Mahomes was 15th in the league in passing. So
But how are you 15-1?
because they had a great defense. And I mean, look at the game. So every season that happens, like you don't get those You don't get the field goal situation.
I
So-
get that, but this isn't like it was some fluke season last year. This is what they've done the last 7 years. This is like when they say you are what you are. This is who they are. They find ways to win.
And offensively, they were who they were
Right.
against the Eagles in the Super Bowl. I mean, it was an offensive unit that was horribly bad. So to me, once again, it's all about opinions. They have to get faster, which they have. We have to get quicker, more explosive. Nothing against Isaiah, nothing against Kareem, but those guys don't provide you with that spark or explosiveness in the run/pass game. The kid who I'm going to be excited to watch,
Kid from SMU.
SMU, who was I low key like Hurricanes fan, and he was electrifying punt returner for the Miami Hurricanes. And getting him out of the backfield, just more explosive, more, and it's going to be a huge thing. I heard someone this weekend talk about Hollywood. It was a hamstring injury, but like somebody that goes out and watches practices, we're like, this is the biggest thing is keeping him healthy. So, and then we don't know what's going to go on with Rice's season and
Right.
how that's affected.
Yeah.
So it looks right now really good on paper. It looks really good in getting Rice back. It's not to see if he can, because he has done it, but
Mahomes said he looks good. Mahomes said Rice looks fantastic.
well,
But
you would never say your dog looks bad. Like you'd be like, nah, man, he doesn't look very good. But if yes, you hope
everything that you're hearing coming out of there right now, this offense is they're gonna be really good this year. They're not gonna be some stagnant, boring offense. Trust me, this offense is gonna be better this year. This offense is gonna be better.
check downs.
I'll tell you what, you check down all day. If you give me a 15-1 record, check down all day. I don't care how you do it. All I know is at the end of the day, FAWTW. Find a way to win. I don't care how you do it. Find a way to win. Get me through the playoffs. Get me in the Super Bowl. Give me a chance. I don't care about Josh Allen's 7,000 yards and 3,000 yards rushing, and man, their offense is unstoppable. But they can't beat us in the playoffs. So what good is it to have all these stats? You ask Josh Allen if he'd rather have all these stats and all this stuff, or would you rather have a few Super Bowl rings? Like, same thing with Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson puts up all these numbers. Ravens put up all these numbers.
Lamar was amazing last year. Statistically wise, he was amazing last year.
Josh was
So was
amazing
Josh.
last year. Lamar was amazing last year.
So
I'm not taking anything away from him.
Right.
I'm just saying,
Right.
We find ways to win.
And that's why they're the greatest organization that's ever played in a sports world. All of that, I get that. But what I'm saying is they're so close. They changed the rule, and the rule now is that the Allen would have been a first down, and so they got. I mean,
what Allen would have been a first
down? The fourth down over the top that he went over, and they said it's not. They switched that rule.
Yeah, but God, if we go and do this and ifs, ands, and buts and candies and nuts and every fucking day'd be Christmas, we could change the games we lost. And if this guy would have caught this ball, would have done this. I'm just saying, bro. To me, it's
So the
whole organization, but it starts with Reed and it starts with Spagnuolo, and it starts with everybody they've got in there. Not just
Sure.
It's not just 15, not just 87. And people are saying 87 was he didn't look himself last year. So we'll see what they have this year and see what they do.
No, absolutely. We're just talking OTAs, and hopefully, once again, you have 2 or 3 guys. Excuse me. In this draft class that contribute. And I need me personally, I need someone that contributes more than they're a gunner on special teams. That we lost a lot of pieces, a lot of like depth pieces that they have to contribute.
I think a lot of people you talk to right now around the NFL, all the grades I've seen that they've got on their draft class, and obviously we won't know until the bullets start flying and games get here, and then we find out for real, like for what they are and what they can bring to the table. But all the grades I've seen have been B+, A- on the draft they've had this year.
Yeah, and none of that. If you're not healthy, none of it means anything of like who you have and who sits out and who doesn't. Hopefully, we can keep them healthy. Hopefully, the offensive line. Obviously, that was the biggest. I mean, the thing about it is, it was so horrific, and so there's nothing settling to me until I see it. Because you're talking about how bad the left tackle situation was. And all you have to do is watch a quarter of the Super Bowl. And to let you know how bad it is, then you lose an all-pro and you trade him because you want to sign the Trey Smith deal, and that's a deal they're going to have to get done sooner than later, his extension. So
I think it gets done before training camp's over. That's my opinion.
yeah, and that's usually when they do it. But so they're going to have to do it. But you're going to talk about putting, whether it's Caglianone, whether it's Kingsley, whether it's Nozar, whoever that is, that's a left side of your line. You have no idea who it's going to be. That's kind of unsettling for me as knowing what Mahomes looked like in the Super Bowl and all last year. If your whole left side is unsettled.
Right.
So, but if Josh is ready to go and he's the guy, that's such a comforting feeling. And there's obviously multiple pieces they can put at the left guard and kind of go up there and got to get some cohesiveness. But there needs to be, anyone will tell you, and it's not me, I never played the position, never suggest I play position, but you need a cohesiveness within the offensive line.
Sure.
You need reps together. You need people that know people's tendencies and what they're stronger at, what they need help at, what they don't. So the great part about it is we have the best center in football, and Creed Humphrey. Creed is great. The kid from Detroit retired today, right, Theo?
Yeah, Frank Ragnow.
Which was he have health conditions?
How young is he?
27,
he was, I
28?
think, 31 maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, he definitely still had years left.
Yeah.
As a Vikings fan, I'm pumped.
Yes.
Yeah, Frank Ragnow is he's a Wisconsin guy, Big Ten offensive lineman. Big Ten just produces them.
Yes.
I'm pumped.
Yeah.
I hope he's all well. I don't know if there was anything health related.
Because that seemed kind of strange that he would just
Yeah, but
and
I'm
it wasn't a guy that I heard about with the history of injuries or history of, so that was kind of weird. But we have that interior, and we have obviously Trey, and it'll be interesting to see. It'll be great. But the playmakers that they've brought in, I like them. They've gotten faster. They've gotten more explosive, which they have to be. I mean, you look at teams, they make explosive plays downfield. They make big plays down the field. They rip off long runs in the run game. You have to have that. And I think that they've surrounded him. They've given 15 additional weapons and signed Hollywood back.
Right.
So on paper he looks fantastic. And I said this last year, or I said this in the offseason. I want them to surround him with the most explosive weapons that they possibly can. They're drafting where they're drafting from. They don't have money to be big time players in free agency, but stockpile those guys up and just see once again what kind of year he can have. Obviously, TK is going to be, he'll be best step of his life.
TK will be ready to go. He'll be ready to go.
He's going to have
he's that dude. I mean, nobody was happy with the way the season ended last year. They all know they got their teeth kicked in by Philadelphia. So it was a shitty game. Philadelphia played the best game they played all season long. Hats off to them. They're Super Bowl champs right now. Philly's not coming in here and beating us September 14th. And I'll take that wager. I'll take whoever wants to see that wager. I'll take that because they're not. Chiefs aren't losing the Eagles home opener in Kansas City. And it's not happening.
Well, once again, it all depends on health. It all depends on what's.
Well, yeah, Jalen Hurts could go down during training camp, and 100% goes on health. And Josh Allen could get hurt in training camp. Lamar Jackson could get hurt in training camp. Those teams are not the same without those guys. So we know we need to have all of our guys healthy, like every other year. We got to be healthy. Our rookies got to kick in. They got to chime in. So they're going to need to help out.
AFC West.
AFC West will be tough this year.
Really tough.
It's not going to be like that. It's not going to be like your guys' division. Your guys' divisions, it's filthy, man.
Yeah, the North is scary.
Yeah, it's North, man. NFC North is there's a lot. There's a lot.
It's really good, but back to the AFC West, it's really good, and there's not better coaches in football than the coach of the AFC West.
You look at the coaches across the board for sure.
I mean that's good. I mean they all. I mean it will be tough and it's fun, and there was somebody, and I want to get your guys' take on this. There's somebody I forgot who it was, but they presented moving forward of not having like divisions anymore, and you kind of play like you play. I forgot how it was, but essentially they would seed it like within like what your region was or whatever it was, but it's still AFC and NFC, but it wouldn't be like AFC West, NFC West.
I wouldn't like it. Would you like if they changed like that?
No, but to me, like somebody that was in the restaurant the other night, like, who is your biggest rival? Like, who is your biggest? And I go, for me, and it will be always the Denver Broncos. I go, it's not the Chargers. The Chargers have, it's not the Chargers. It's not the same. The Raiders, from going to the most hated team for most people, is the Raiders, but they have been so irrelevant in my lifetime for such a long time. They won the Super Bowl, and they won when they beat or when they played the Tampa, but they've been so relevant for so long. And then Oakland to back to, to Los Angeles, back to Oakland to it, that kind of loses its luster to me. And there's Raiders fans everywhere, but when it was a rival to me was when it was in the old,
when it was Al Davis instead of Mark Davis.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
And it was back then. That was a Marty Schottenheimer. It's Raider week. It was, I don't care if we lose against this team, it's Raider week. It is, you lock in, it's nasty, it's filthy. When we had the boys, Timmy and Billy Moss on, they were involved in some of the most epic NFL fights, helmets off, swinging helmets. Well, they truly hated each other. That's kind of lost a little bit, but for me, it's the Broncos. It's the Broncos, and I would not want to see that. But back in the day, when it was the old AFC, we had the Seahawks, and you'd play in the old kingdom. That was big to me.
Yeah.
That going to the kingdom and trying to win in the kingdom, that was a tough.
Dave Craig.
Kurt Warner, the running back, Curtis Warner.
Curtis Warner,
Steve Largent, all those, Kenny Easley on the defense
Zorn.
side. That was
Cortez Kennedy.
Cortez Kennedy was the dog, but those were like that was when it was different.
Who was the coach over there for Seattle then? Was he from the Rams and went to the Rams? Who was that coach?
For back in the day?
Yeah, I can totally see Seattle's coach right now. When they had Zorn and Largent and all those guys.
Man, that kills me because I should know that.
I know. This is killing me, man, that I don't know this guy. See who the old Seattle coach was? Can you picture him with the gray hair and the Seahawks hat? God dang it. Famous coach, man, too. Famous coach. Was it Knox? Was Knox his last name?
Jack Patera was the Seahawks coach from 76 to 82.
After that.
After 82, 82.
Was it Knox?
Chuck Knox.
Knox. I was like, because I can see the guy. I can see the guy's face on the.
Yeah.
I can see the guy. That's it. Chuck Knox. That's what I'm thinking about.
Knox was like, yeah.
But our schedule's going to be tough this year, bro.
So are they in OTAs this week too?
OTAs this week. Yep.
And then after this, they're off till training camp.
No. After this, they finish up. They have. I think it's the 17th or the 19th. They finish up. Those like the mandatory ones where the entire team, everybody's got to be there. I think everybody pretty much is there right now. I don't think there's anybody they're missing. But it's the 17th or 19th that finishes them up until training camp. And then they'll be back, I want to say, July 29th, I think the Chiefs go to camp.
God, that's so crazy because it's just wild. Tomorrow's Teddy's birthday. Teddy will be 5. Man. Shout out to my niece, Teddy. She'll be 5 years old tomorrow. Teddy will be 5. But it's crazy because it's like, it's June. When you say it's like, it's June. It just goes by so fast. It's so crazy. It's already June. It's like, it's nuts. Because then, it just starts rolling now. Football starts rolling. College football starts rolling. It gets going. And I love baseball. Love baseball.
Sure.
But into college, into NFL, it's like, it's my jam. I love it. And
we're shooting episode. We're shooting episode 30. What is this? Is this 39? Shooting episode 39 tonight, guys. Make sure you guys please go and follow us on Instagram, follow us on X, follow us on YouTube. Hit the subscribe buttons, man. You guys, we're gaining listeners and followers, and people are checking out our reels. If you're checking out our reels, go on to YouTube and subscribe. We're going to continue doing this and bringing this to you, man. Thanks to all of our people that allow us to be able to do this stuff. But guys, be looking at our merch store. We'll make sure we drop a link on our episode so you guys can check out our merch store. We know as we get closer, we get through July, we start getting through all this stuff. In August 18th on a Monday night, bro, we're going to do a 50th episode here in Lula's. Lula's is going to do food. They're going to do cocktails, drinks. We're going to invite 50 friends up here to be part of our live show. So
it'll be a lot of fun.
So the people that come in to do that, we're going to make sure everybody's subscribed and follow us on all of our social media outlets. We'll be giving out gear, giving out some hats and T-shirts and stuff that we'll do that night. But Who knows, bro? I think we'll fill it up. I think we'll have 50 people that will want to come in and check our live show out. We're going to have former guests come on and be here.
If not, could you guys pump in crowd audience? Like there's a bunch of people here.
Yeah,
If it's just
We'll fake it all. We'll fake all of it.
There's only
Yeah.
3 or 4, and it's just Teddy and my wife. Like, yeah, we may
some cardboard cutouts like in there.
we
Joe
may have to do
Schmo off
that.
the side of the street.
Yeah, like
Looking
with
at me.
COVID, COVID, they'd have all those crazy backdrops for fans like at baseball games.
Yep.
You'd see the
Hey,
wildest
you
shit.
saw a cardboard guy's head get taken off by a homer one day.
Yeah. So anyway, guys, like I said, August 18th, we'll be doing our 50th episode. Please follow us on all of our social media links. Check out our merch store. We're going to add that on there. And like I said, just keep on supporting Love You Bro podcast. We love doing this. KC Podcast Company does a great job.
Absolutely.
Thank you
Thank you.
guys.
Theo,
Our
the intern.
Theo, man. Theo, our intern. You've been awesome, brother. We can't do it without you.
Theo got mad at me when I texted him about the Timberwolves. He's like, I didn't know you were this caught up in Timberwolves.
Well, yeah, because he didn't say a whole lot when they blew the
Randomly
Lakers,
after
when they ran
game
the Lakers.
2, I get a text from Jamie just talking shit, and it's like, all right, dude, calm down.
Calm down, man. So, did you ask him where his Lakers were?
I said it. I go, you
he
guys are in
preferred-
Cabo. Let's calm down.
Yeah, I know. And I was like,
Cabo,
no.
man. He said the Lakers are in Cabo,
I go,
bro.
I wish I was in Cabo with him. No, we're in Cabo, but I'm like, yeah. So, but we didn't be able to get into it. But real quick, it'll be fun. That series will be fun. The NHL, the Stanley Cup will be insane. Edmonton and Florida Panthers will be really, really good. It'll probably maybe one of the best in. I bet it goes 7.
Yeah.
NBA,
Love it.
I think OKC, 5 tops. Let's be realistic.
6.
5 tops.
OKC and 6. I think the
What do you think, Theo?
I think it's the same thing as the Wolves. I think OKC takes care of business at home, 1 and 2. They go back to Indy for game 3 and 4. Game 3, Indy, they have the whole crowd behind them. Indy is a state of basketball.
Yes.
Indy dominates game 3. OKC shows back up. They win a close one in game 4. And then they go home and they take care of business. And,
There you go. That was good.
that's how it goes.
Theo says in 5, man.
Yeah.
In 5.
No, it
OKC's,
was-
they're so, I mean, they have 9 guys that are NBA starters.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
so deep.
No, they're
And you give Shea every whistle, and they're gonna.
Was it brutal watching some of those reels, mans, and those Pacers and those Knicks fans that were getting in fights, bro? Some of those reels were crazy.
I'll go out and
man.
say that.
Yeah, a
that
couple
shit's got
guys
to
got
stop.
knocked
It's about
out.
Yeah,
sporting
man,
news,
it's,
man.
it's just here's
It's
the thing.
so bad. It's every day I wake up and I was like, start looking through reels, and I don't care if it's a baseball game. They're just full on beating, knocking people out. It's horrible.
Like people get knocked out and fighting and doing this, man. If you're any of our followers on Love You Bro podcast, man, and you're at sports games, man, come on, keep it real. Enjoy rooting for your team. No reason to be beating on people in these stadiums, man, getting people hurt and stuff. I know in Arrowhead, sometimes that stuff will break out, but for the most part, when teams come from out of town, I don't see any Chiefs fans jumping and beating up on somebody because they're wearing a Lions jersey or something.
No.
So anyway, man, keep it real. Keep supporting Love You Bro podcast, man. We love what we do here. Thank you guys.
Thank you, guys.
And like I said, man, keep following us on our social media and keep checking out. Big excited for our 50th episode that'll come up in August.
Yep.
We're out. See you
Love you,
next
bro.
week.